guys, Eric and Joey here to talk about Walking Dead, the episode called I Ain't a Judas, the Andrea-centric episode everyone's been dying for?
I guess so.
Right.
That was my reaction when it's sort of like, it's very clear at the get-go that's going to be an Andrea-centric episode, and you're just like, all right, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I mean, this character has been so frustrating, certainly this entire season, and in some ways the whole show, but mostly this season. And this was an episode where I really wondered, like, okay, is this going to redeem her? Is she finally going to completely open her eyes? But ultimately, she doesn't, so it's frustrating.
It's a frustrating episode because it doesn't do a lot for anyone, really, and it serves as exposition for stuff that we already saw.
Yeah.
You know, like, as soon as, I like the dramatic sort of implications of Andrea finding out all these things that happened since she got separated from Rick's group. But at the same time, all they do is just list off everything that happened to them.
Right, and you know, we still didn't understand why she was still sticking with the governor. She'd seen so many signs of his insanity, how cruel he can be. Now she's told by people who are her friends, yeah, he killed our friend, he tried to kill me. And so at the end, you know, when she doesn't go through with killing the governor, seemingly, you know, sticking with him, it's like, I don't know how you kind of bring her back now from that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that she didn't kill him because of, you know, she's in love with him or anything like that, or that even that she's loyal to him. I felt it was more of just like, I can't just kill someone in their sleep, which is interesting as well, but again, it comes from that character who up to this point, really, I don't care about her whatsoever. I don't care what she does.
Right.
So,
I wonder how this storyline is going to end. You know, is she going to have a last minute, I need to help them? You know, will she tragically be killed? There's a lot of, you know, at this point, again, it is hard to see her now going back to the group after what happened in this episode.
But at least we did get to see Michonne and Andrea sort of reconnect and interact. And there was this great moment that I just laughed so hard at, where Andrea asks Michonne what she told the group, and Michonne says nothing.
Yes.
And it's totally true.
It's a very dead-on statement. Again, it hurts Andrea that Michonne is telling her, like, yeah, the governor tried to kill me, and Andrea still doesn't seem to fully buy it. Yeah. But it was good to see Michonne at least, you know, completely in this argument at this point, even though we don't love either character and as they've been presented on this show, you do side with Michonne in this situation.
Totally, totally. I am intrigued by Michonne going on this run with Rick, though. I think that might be a chance for her to open it up a little bit while they're together.
Yeah, it is fun to actually get some of those characters off on their own, and you know, Rick taking Michonne and Carl with him is kind of an interesting trio at this point to see how those characters bounce off each other.
Yeah, you know, there was that nice moment with Carl too in this episode, and I think that showed really how much Carl has grown as a character since last season. You know, stay in the house, Carl version, and I think it really shows his progression.
He seems like one of the most together characters at this point, actually.
Yeah, sadly.
And then we did catch up with Tyrese this episode. People were wondering, I mean, I figured he'd be back. It was just a question of how long they'd keep him away. So he ran into Milton and Andrea.
Yeah, it's obviously a very different situation that fans of the comic book are familiar with. But I do think it's really interesting seeing Tyrese, because he's still that sort of ethically strong character that we know from the comics, but he's in a very different situation. And seeing him sort of interact with Woodbury and deal with the governor, and maybe not fall for that manipulation, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to watch.
And at least, if he does fall for it, though, at least he has a much better reason. Andrea is so frustrating because she knows these people.
Yeah.
Whereas Tyrese just met them, and yes, he just met Rick, and Rick acted threatening and crazy with him.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
You at least get the idea why, you know, Tyrese's group would say, okay, yeah, there's something wrong, certainly with Rick Grimes.
Right.
Whereas Andrea has much more of a history, you know, even with the Shane thing they kind of threw in to be like, you know, no, he killed Shane. There's still all her friends saying governor's crazy.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, you know, not a lot to happen this week. We're hoping, though, now that they've put these pieces in place for the growing war between the two sides. What do you think? What do you think of Andrea these days? Do you just want her to die? Do you think she's the greatest character ever?
Yes, I do.
Let us know, and we'll see you next week.